Welcome back to the Padded Room. This is Talking Tech with Wayne, and I'm Wayne. Greetings to all of you who tuned into my earlier shows, and a warm, pleased to make your acquaintance to all of my new friends. This season, we've explored Google searches, smartphones, tablets, and the apps they run. Today, we are looking at what may be a difficult subject: digital estate planning. Most of us that are of a certain age have at least thought about creating a last will and testament, and some of us have even taken more substantial steps like writing a living will or naming a medical proxy. But I'm finding that few of us have given any thought to our digital effects. It seems everyone is attached to their technology these days. Whether it's a computer, smartphone, or tablet, we live our lives through these smart devices. As a result, these devices should play an important part in your estate plan. This is especially true if you store personal and/or financial information on your devices or online. Well, what does this all mean? Your online data can include significant assets that should be included in your estate plan, whether it is to access your bank account, store account, iTunes account, reward points, photo albums, online investing, gambling, or other online accounts. Your estate plan should provide avenues for your loved ones to have access to all of these types of digital property. You should leave a list of the websites you commonly access along with your usernames, passwords, or other log-on information. Failure to leave this information for your loved ones could result in money, music, photos, games, or other types of virtual property you own getting sucked in some kind of digital limbo. While your loved ones are probably aware of where you maintain your checking account, it is, however, unlikely that they are aware of where you save your digital currency. When Elon Musk invested $1.5 billion in Bitcoin earlier this year, he, with one fatal swoop, brought cryptocurrency into the mainstream. For better or worse, Wall Street began dealing in the tender that was, up until recently, used almost entirely on the dark web. Later in this discussion, we will explore this form of currency and look at its particular challenges in regards to digital estate planning. What could be a further complication is if your online identity is not the same as your actual identity. Without your logon information to access these websites, the company that maintains them may not allow your loved ones to access your digital assets. You must also remember to update this list every time you change your passwords. In addition to leaving instructions on how to access your digital accounts, you should also set forth how your family members should handle these affairs. For example, you may want to review each website's term of use to understand how your online assets will be handled upon your death. If there are certain instructions for granting rights to your executor or beneficiary, you should take action to follow them. Some websites may have specific forms you need to complete and leave with your estate planning documents. There are, however, apps or sites that help you gather all this information together in one place and even allow you to designate who has access at your death or incapacity. What follows are some of these services. Listing them here is not an endorsement, and I have not used any of them, and this list is far from exhaustive. Allow this to be a starting place. As you guys explore them, let's begin a conversation on my Facebook page. The site address and Facebook page are scrolling along the bottom of the screen along with our helpline number. Some of those sites are SecureSafe, Everplan, Trusted Air, Estate Assist, Cloud Locker, and fabric. Using the Google search skills we covered last show, take a look at them and see what people who have used them have to say. I will continue to research as well to get a better idea of their uses and effectiveness so that I can join in the discussion as well. Now, let's look at a few of the tech platforms to see how they handle the death of a user. Remember, don't take the value of your digital assets for granted. You worked hard to establish your accounts and build your collection of photos, music, points, books, games, or other types of property, so you want them to be passed on to your loved ones. Tech companies are beginning to adapt standards around the data and social media accounts of the deceased. There is also progress with more options becoming available for pre-death planning as well. This is an ever-evolving subject, so more research is necessary. But as with every journey, a first step is required, and this is that. Since each tech platform has different terms of service and privacy policies to consider, there's no one simple way to manage all of your digital assets and accounts. Maybe one of the services mentioned earlier will help, and hopefully this will change in the future as platforms mature. But for now, let's consider what some of the largest social networks are doing with both pre-death planning and policies in place after users pass away. First, let's look at Facebook. According to a recent study, there will be a minimum of 2.6 billion Facebook users before the end of year 2021. That's a lot of accounts. With numbers like that, it's no surprise that Facebook is leading the pack when it comes to creating options for users to decide what they want to be done with their profile and digital legacy after their death. In the past few years, Facebook has implemented new functionality to help their users be more proactive about managing their own profile's legacy. As of today, users have the option to set someone as a legacy contact or request that their profile be deleted after their passing. To access this setting in Facebook, users simply click Settings, General Account Settings, Memorialization Settings. The user will then be prompted to a screen where a legacy contact can be added. I had the opportunity to discuss the Facebook legacy process with a young lady who recently lost her father. I asked, and she consented to me including her experience in this discussion. Her dad died last year from COVID, and according to her, he was on Facebook fairly often, sometimes posting, but mostly reading. He and her mom lived in many places, having been in the military, and they had many friends spread out across the world. Facebook was a convenient way to stay connected with all of them. She described the process she employed as straightforward and easy. She stated that her dad was still logged onto his Facebook account on his computer when he passed. So after making sure it was okay with her brothers, she made herself his legacy contact from within his account. She then informed Facebook of his death by submitting a special request for deceased person's account form. On the form, she provided his full name, email address, date of death, and the web address of their timeline. She then got the invitation and accepted it. She then got a memorialization request email from Facebook. The invitation said, "I'm sorry for your loss and thanks for reaching out to us. Your loved one decided about what they want to have happen to their Facebook account after they passed away. He chose you as his legacy contact. Our thoughts are with you and your family. Please let us know if we can help answer any questions you may have." After receiving the email, she responded verifying that she was indeed the legacy contact. Once it was confirmed by Facebook, the page was renamed from her father's name to remembering and then her father's name. She added that she was still not 100% sure about some things, such as what happens if he gets friend requests now. Can they be accepted or not? If she does it come from her, or will she potentially be freaking people out who might think he is actually responding? She said that she was sure that was all in Facebook's help section, but she admits that she had not really looked. When people lose someone important in their life, grief reactions and symptoms can be overwhelming and complicated, which makes the process of dealing with a loved one's account even more challenging. This woman was fortunate enough to have access to her father's Facebook account, and she admitted that she did not have the credentials. While Facebook is certainly ahead of most social media platforms, it's clear that there's still more room for improvement to help lessen the confusion for users during bereavement. To learn more about managing a Facebook's legacy contact, visit Facebook's Help Center. Now, let's look at Instagram. Considering Instagram is owned by Facebook, it's no surprise that the functionality to memorialize an Instagram account is also available for users. The functionality is, however, a bit different than it is for Facebook. According to Facebook's Help Center, here are some of the key features of memorialized accounts. Facebook doesn't allow anyone to log into a memorialized account. The profile of a memorialized account doesn't appear differently than from an account that hasn't been memorialized. Posts the deceased person shared, including photos, videos, and other digital assets, stay on Instagram and are visible to the audience they were shared with. Memorialized accounts don't appear in public spaces like People's Explore section. Once memorialized, no one will be able to make changes to any of the account's existing posts or info. This includes photos or videos added by the person to their profile, comments or posts shared by the person to their profile, privacy settings of their profile, the current profile photo, followers, or people the person followed. For someone to report an account to be memorialized, Instagram requests that a family member or friend fill out their contact form with a proof of death, such as a link to an obituary or news article. To learn more about requesting the memorialization of a deceased person's Instagram account, visit Instagram's Help Center. Now, Twitter. While Twitter is not as advanced when it comes to linking legacy accounts and memorializing accounts, they do provide options for deactivating the accounts of the deceased. In the event of a death of a Twitter user, Twitter works with a person authorized to act on behalf of the estate or with a verified immediate member of the deceased person's family. Someone must request the removal of a deceased user's account, and after they submit the request, Twitter emails instructions for providing more details, including information about the deceased person, a copy of the requester's ID, and a copy of the deceased death certificate. Twitter assures that the submitted information will remain confidential. To learn more about requesting the deactivation of a deceased person's Twitter account, please visit Twitter's Help Center. Now, LinkedIn. Similar to Twitter, LinkedIn also provides the option for a third party to request the deactivation of a deceased person's LinkedIn. LinkedIn will remove their profile from view on the request of a family member or friend with the following information: the member's name, the URL of their LinkedIn profile, your relationship to them, member's email address, date they passed away, link to an obituary, and because it's first and foremost a professional networking site, the company they most recently worked at. To learn more about requesting the deactivation of a deceased person's LinkedIn account, please visit LinkedIn's Help Center. Now, for those of you in the Apple universe, iCloud. For people with an iPhone, MacBook, iTunes, or any other Apple product or service, the Apple ID manages all of the user data and account information. If the login information isn't left behind to a friend or family member, Apple allows people to request access to a customer's accounts and devices after they have passed away. But before Apple can aid in accessing a deceased person's device or personal information they store in iCloud, they ask that the person's next of kin obtain a court order that names them as the rightful inheritor of their loved one's personal information and digital life. Apple also encourages customers to add an inheritance plan, similar to what you do for estate planning, to their will that covers the personal information they store on their devices and in iCloud. This may simplify the process of acquiring a proper court order and reduce delay and frustration for family members during a difficult time. To learn more about planning for your own account or making a request for a deceased person's Apple account, please visit the Apple Help Center. Last but not least, let's look at Google. Whether it's email, maps, calendars, photos, or one of the other services Google offers, users have the option to make plans for their own accounts and also requests for a deceased person's account. Google allows users to be proactive with planning for their account with their inactive. They also allow users to make the following requests for a deceased person's account: close the account of a deceased user, submit a request for funds from a deceased user's account, or obtain data from a deceased user's account. To learn more about planning for your own account or making a request for a deceased person's account, please visit Google's Help Center. Now, back to cryptocurrency. Presently, there are over 1,600 different cryptocurrencies in the world. Bitcoin is by far the most popular cryptocurrency at the moment, with 32 million Bitcoin wallets set and 7.1 million active Bitcoin users. What happens to a person's cryptocurrency when they die? Let's look at what cryptocurrency is, how to include cryptocurrency in your will, and the potential difficulties associated with it. At present, cryptocurrency and probate is a hot topic. It can be very difficult to prove who inherits what. Cryptocurrencies, or crypto assets as they are sometimes known, are a type of digital currency that's controlled independently from a central bank. The currency is supported by technology called blockchain, a public ledger that can't be changed. A few of the most popular forms of cryptocurrency include Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple. Cryptocurrency is stored using a virtual wallet. However, the currency itself doesn't sit in the wallet. The wallet holds the digital keys required to access the cryptocurrency. The currency itself stays in a ledger in the blockchain. Well, what is the current legal stance on cryptocurrency? There isn't a concrete legal stance when it comes to that. But what we do know for sure is that cryptocurrency is similar to property in that it can be owned, gifted, and inherited. If a person dies and the private keys are lost to a cryptocurrency wallet, then the currency is essentially lost forever. This is because blockchains are highly secure and the entire process is decentralized. So there is no way to restore a private key. If an individual misplaces their private key, for example, throwing away the piece of paper it's written on, they will not be able to access the crypto asset. The private key still exists as part of the cryptocurrency, albeit it's not known to the owner anymore. So, where should I leave my cryptocurrency wallet information? Your loved ones may be able to prove they are beneficiaries of the cryptocurrency portfolio if they can provide proof of death certificate and your will. However, it is extremely difficult to do so as there is no central organization in charge of the wallet. As a result, it is critical that you keep the details of your cryptocurrency wallet somewhere safe and let your beneficiaries know all the information when the time comes. So, where should you keep your crypto wallet information? There are several choices you can make, dictated by your choice of wallet. And those choices are, there's a hot wallet, and in the hot wallet, the private key is kept online, though it can be a target for hackers. There's a cold wallet. The private key is written on a piece of paper, stored on a USB stick, or even stored on a computer that doesn't have access to the internet. And then there's the hosted wallet. The private key is held by a third-party service such as Coinbase Custody. Some banks, especially online banks such as Bitwallet, allow you to buy and sell cryptocurrency from a new bank account. They can also store wallets and private keys on behalf of their clients. The route you take is completely up to you. Some people prefer to keep their wallet information on paper in a safe. Some prefer using third-party services online, and some keep it on hardware such as a Bitbox for Bitcoin. Each of these choices will require a different approach to your estate planning. If you want to leave your digital assets to certain people in your will, there are important steps that need to be taken to ensure that your wishes are carried out. You will need to keep a note of specific instructions on how to access your private key in the wallet, all usernames for online accounts, and any details on the public and private keys themselves. Many people don't appreciate that once a grant of probate has been obtained, your will becomes a matter of public record, so you mustn't provide specific details in your will. When it comes to your crypto assets or any other online account. But there are ways to ensure that the assets are accessible when your loved ones need to claim the cryptocurrency. Since our society is still in a relative fluid state when it comes to how to handle our own personal data and online accounts, it's really up to the individual to plan for their own digital afterlife. If you or someone you love is interested in planning for the future of your online accounts and data, we recommend that you take the following steps. Step 1. Take stock of your digital accounts and data. We all have more accounts than we probably even realize. Start taking note of all of your accounts by going through your email, bank receipts, and mail. Write a list of all your accounts and note whether you'd like the account to be remained open, handed to a friend, family member, or other trusted person, or deactivate it once you pass. Remember to also note your devices, such as mobile phones, laptops, tablets, etc. Step 2. Create a password vault. While it will be possible for your loved ones to gain access to your accounts by reaching out to the platforms you use, it will be much easier if you provide them with access to all of your accounts with passwords included in the event of your death. LastPass and 1Password are both online password vaults that can help you with storing all of your online account logins and passwords. Keep in mind that some accounts will need a two-factor authentication, meaning that your phone will likely also be needed to access more secure accounts. The password vaults have an option to print out your emergency kit, which includes the master logon to the password vault. This is a document that should be left for your loved ones with the other traditional estate papers. Step 3. If all of this seems too much, talk to a professional. To help ensure all of your accounts, data, and other personal matters are left to the right people, it may help to talk to a professional estate planner and/or will executor. Ask that your wishes for your digital remains that you outlined in Step 1 be respected when you pass. Talk about your digital plan with your loved ones. Since this topic is still relatively new to most, you may be the first person in your family to bring it up. That's okay. It will help everyone to discuss with your loved ones how you wish your digital remains, including online data and accounts, should be handled when you pass. Let them know what you included in your planning, along with where and how they can manage your accounts in the event of your passing. While talking about death isn't always fun, the more you plan now, the less chaotic the experience will be for your loved one when they're left with the grief of losing a loved one and managing your digital footprint and digital estate moving forward. Well, it looks like that's all the time I have for today. Everything discussed today and in every show will be recapped in our newsletter. Log on to sign up and join the discussion on Facebook. It has been my pleasure to be here today, and I look forward to the next time we can do it again. I wish you all a farewell.